Hey guys, it's Cole, and I'm joined here with Name It, and we are going to be doing a reaction video to Wolfheartfps's All Classes in Diablo IV Explained with unique mechanics. And so Diablo IV is a game that I have been actually very excited about for a very, very long time. And I don't talk about it much on this channel, but there are so many games that I are super interested in that have tons of build systems. I think that's one of my favorite things, is just being able to go in it. Like games like Warframe or Path of Exile, I think that the build systems in there are freaking fantastic. And honestly, Diablo 3 was it wasn't quite everything everyone was hoping for, but Diablo 4, I really think that this is
Yeah,
going to be amazing. So I'm just
Diablo
having to
3
react
was
to
so
this.
long ago, it's hard for me to even remember what it was like. I remember playing it. I remember having some fun. I remember liking it, but I just kind of remember it just the game just felt a little bit too like I beat it too quickly.
Do you remember the cash shot and the
Oh
marketplace?
yeah,
Yep.
that too. Yeah, that was kind of off-putting. So
It
hopefully
was.
no. Yeah, I don't think there's a cash shop this time. So that it's
No, I have not
already
seen
better.
anything like
Already
that.
better. All right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I know there's a battle pass, but you know what? I will take a battle pass over that any day of the week. And plus, I don't think battle pass is quite as evil as we make it out to be. It can be really exhausting if you have too many games with it, but I
Well, I
digress.
mean,
But
the game is still like very expensive. I think the base version is like $80, but that's what games are like nowadays.
yeah,
$80 Canadian for a game, which is a bit much.
whenever it's Canadian dollars, it's like, oh
Yeah,
god.
I remember a game used to be like $50 Canadian, but anyhow,
Oh
I'm
man,
showing my age now.
don't do
Let,
that now. But
let's
yeah,
go.
let's get into it.
In today's video, I'm going to give you an overview of all of the classes in Diablo 4 as we're very close to the beta and only a few months away from official launch. Hopefully this video will help you decide a little early what class you think is right for you. But hey, if you play the beta, that's a great time to test them
Which
all
is
out.
coming this
Let's
weekend.
jump right in. Let's start off with the Rogue
You know you're still
class,
gonna
which
play
is an
all of them.
adaptable, agile
You know you
warrior that
will.
can specialize.
You know what?
You're still gonna play every class. Come on.
Uh, I
He's
might.
saying
I might. It really
pick which
depends.
one you want to play, but like this will help you pick. But most people, like
I'm hoping
I'll
it'll
probably
help
still
me,
play
but
them all
probably. Probably knowing me.
if I get
Let's
into
start off
But first up is going to be
with
the
the
rogue.
Rogue class, which is an adaptable, agile warrior that can specialize in ranged or close quarters combat.
Which I apologize for pausing this so much, but instantly, ranged and close quarters, like whenever it comes
Cool.
to something, I like the ability to adapt, and that is a huge win for me. Like being able to customize like that and just on the fly change.
This class can best any foe with their imbued weapons, perform powerful combo attacks, and can augment their arsenal with deadly poisons and shadow magic. On
I
the
love
Diablo
that.
4 webpage, Blizzard refers to the rogue as a she. Rest assured, character classes are not gender locked in Diablo 4 like they were back in the Diablo.
Yeah, so that's something I want to talk about. So the gender lock, there are so many games these days that are being launched with gender locks, and I'm thinking about a particular game that got quite popular, a Lost Ark, and I was so frustrated with how some of them were gender locked, and I'm like, this kind of sucks, because like I want to play like a dude character. That's just what I vibe with. That's just what
It's
I
just
do.
it's good to have more options. The gender locking things just seem
Yeah,
silly.
exactly. And plus there's girls that want to play like warriors, but traditionally that would be like locked off. So I think this is just a win. I'm glad that that's a thing. Really.
2 days.
Yeah,
For fans
exactly.
of
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
previous Diablo games, in terms of playstyle, think of the Rogue in Diablo 1, the Assassin and Amazon classes in Diablo 2, and the Demon Hunter in Diablo 3, but do note that the D4 Rogue should offer a fresh take on this style of class. This is a fast-paced, versatile, dexterity-based class that offers the ability to quickly alternate between ranged weapons, such as bows and crossbows, and dual melee weapons, such as swords and daggers.
Yeah, like
The
I
Rogue
said before,
class
that's a
will
huge
offer
win.
3 different
That's
talent
weird.
specializations, and these are combo points, inner sight, and preparation.
A little bit on specializations. This is kind of what I was getting at on the start of the video. I really like what I've been hearing. I haven't done a deep dive, but like what I've been hearing about like the build system and how deep you can go with it. Like that's something that I really like. So
Well, yeah, no, I hope there's going to be lots of opportunities to do like different builds and make
yeah,
meaningful choices about
let me make
how
my character totally to my
how you want
style.
your character to go. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool if you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
These specializations unlock upon the completion of specific class specialization quests that become available at levels 15, 20, and 30. The combo point specialization allows you to build up points with basic rogue attacks, to then spend those points when using certain core skills to unleash more powerful versions of those
Builder
skills.
spender.
Inner Sight allows you to mark a particular enemy with a purple eye, and hitting that enemy will build up your Inner Sight gauge, and once full, you'll be granted unlimited energy for 4 seconds.
Which is pretty
the preparation
awesome.
specialization we don't know much about at this time, and this is the one that unlocks at level 30, but many are speculating that it will have something to do with cooldown reduction. The Rogue class will also offer a unique weapon imbue system, which lets you imbue your weapons with certain afflictions such as frost, shadow, and poison. This imbue system allows you to change your playstyle on the fly, as you create the opportunity for additional deadly combos to control the battlefield with.
So I want to talk about the imbue system. This is like a mechanic that I've seen in a lot of different games. Like I'm even thinking about, oh god, what was it? What was it? Oh no, I think it was like Force Online Gaming, and it was just like, or no, it was Cabal Online, and so like they had a job, like I think it was called Force Blader, that would let them imbue their weapons with certain effects, and this is a mechanic that we haven't seen too much. I think it also appeared in like Dragon Age Origins, where you could have like a fire weapon, so like hearing that instantly takes me back, and I'm like, yes, we haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, I just wonder what it's going to be useful for. It gives you more options with damage type, so I imagine it's probably like be useful to tune your damage in such a way that you can kill certain enemies. So you can basically if a boss is weak to fire damage, you could imbue your weapon with that for that mission or.
I think
whatever.
that would be
That's
cool.
what I think it'll be.
I'd love that, because they stripped that kind of mechanic from 14, other than in like Eureka from Stormblood. So I'd like that. Everything that I just heard about Rogue actually makes it so interesting, because it's not just a Rogue, it's like building up with it. So I'm going to keep going, but I like Rogue. This sounds really good.
Yeah,
There's,
it
of course,
looks
a
fun.
ton of other skills for this class, as you have the basic skills, core skills, agility skills, subterfuge skills, and of course the deadly ultimates. These
I'm gonna need
skills
to go through all
range from
those.
stabbing enemies at rapid godly speeds, shooting piercing arrows, throwing caltrops on the ground, shadow stepping around the battlefield, vanishing out of sight, using smoke grenades, and much, much more. The ultimate skills that the Rogue offers are an insanely deadly AoE trap, powerful waves of volleys of arrows, and the ability to create a shadow clone that will mimic your actions.
Okay, I love the
Druid
shadow.
class is a savage shapeshifter, which can fluidly transform between the forms of a towering bear
He's
or a vicious
great.
werewolf to fight alongside the
Druid.
creatures of the wild. The Druid also commands the power of earth,
that
wind,
looks
and
fun.
I'm
storm,
only a little bit
unleashing
biased to this
nature's
class.
wrath
Right.
to devastating
Okay.
effect.
Werebear.
In terms of playstyle, you're
Sick.
probably best looking back at the Diablo II Druid class.
I love the wolves.
As this
Does
one,
he have wolves? Yeah, he's got wolves.
Yeah, so he has
Cool.
like wolf companions behind him, and like I just absolutely love this. Like that's
Smash
so
everything
good.
with your magical.
And then
force
he had like
powers.
this rock earlier that he was like throwing at
Yeah.
enemies. Like I like you literally become a werebear.
Yeah,
and
that
shit.
looks fun.
Man,
See, there was no druid class in Diablo 3. At least there wasn't when I played it. I don't know if they ever added it later. I don't think they did.
dude, that's so cool. Like I knew as
Yeah.
soon as, because I have seen the original Diablo 4 launch stuff, and so I knew that this was just a hulking freaking unit. And like, dude, like
It's-
you're
it's
literally using the
pretty cool.
earth magic there. Now you're smacking it with a staff, like,
Yeah.
and then you, like, I'm sorry.
It'd only be better if you turned into a Rothgar, right? Cool.
Oh my god. Not everything has to be Rothgar. But sorry, I should continue the video.
Okay, there we go.
and storm, unleashing nature's wrath to devastating effect. In terms of
Yeah, that's so
playstyle,
cool.
you're probably best looking back at the Diablo II Druid class, as this one will likely be a similar
Yeah, so
style
it was back in
with a
2.
different approach. The D4 Druid shapeshifting is unique in that shapeshifting is not its own specific skill or action. There's no skills
that's what
that
I want for
exist
werewolf.
purely to transform in and out of the various forms.
Oh, actually, that's a huge point that he just made. So what he just said was there's no skills to like transform in and out, and so it's just like it flows. And I think that's
Oh,
huge.
so it just does it automatically then, or what?
Yeah, so like I guess like from like the gameplay, like he just like
purely
was
to transform
flowing,
in and out.
and
Oh,
so like he was just going in and out of the different forms, which I
cool.
think's really cool. Unfortunately, no hotbars there. So that's huge. So there's no like annoying micromanagement shit.
Oh, good.
Various forms. Instead, when you use a particular skill associated with one of the forms, your druid will automatically shapeshift into that form,
Yeah, that's so
execute the
fucking
chosen
cool.
skill, and then revert
Oh.
back to human form in what seems to be around 3 seconds or so later.
I need to make the joke. These aren't your Twilight werewolves. Okay, moving on.
Unless you use another shapeshifting associated skill before that time runs out. In a recent developer Q&A, we were told about the Druid's unique class mechanic, which is the spirit animal system, but this apparently won't be available to use in the beta. This mechanic allows you to find spirit animals, which will then unlock your ability to choose specific spirit animal boons that will of course buff your druid in a variety of different ways. It is said that there are 4 total spirit animals, and after you've unlocked them all, you'll be able to choose one boon from each animal, and you get an extra point to double down on one of them. Apparently these boons can be swapped in and out at will. The druid skill categories include basic skills, spirit skills, defensive skills, wrath skills, companion skills, and of course ultimates. These abilities will range from sundering the earth and impaling enemies to calling down strikes of lightning, conjuring tornadoes, trampling enemies as a werebear, passively summoning wolves, ravens, and vines, and much, much more. The druid's ultimate skills offer the ability to call in a massive storm, rage as a ferocious grizzly, and petrify enemies. The sorcerer.
Dude, yeah. Okay, before we move on to the next one, that's a huge win for me. Like, I will be playing a druid at some point. Like, I love everything about this class. Like the wolf companions, the transformation, the just ripping apart things. Like, there's even a clip early on where, yeah, I think it's about here, where he's just as turns into werewolf and just, yeah, he just clobbers right through them. Like, that is so fucking cool. Just look at it. He's just like, fuck these things. Man.
Look at that.
I love that. That is so fucking cool.
Looks cool.
Then you get dogs. I love.
Yeah, you get little wolves. Yeah.
Aw, I love them. Okay, what do you have to say about the druid though? I love this. This is so cool.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I like it. It's cool.
I love it. So now we're gonna move on to the sorcerer.
The sorcerer or sorceress shapes the elements into whatever form is necessary to ensure victory, from hurling bolts of lightning, impaling foes upon jagged spikes of ice, and raining flaming meteors down from the sky. The sorceress was a class offered in Diablo 2. As for something of a similar playstyle in Diablo 3, you're probably looking at the wizard class, but they're definitely not exactly the same. This class offers a high-risk, high-reward type of playstyle, as it's quite squishy, but to make up for that, their power in harnessing potent elemental magic is basically unmatched. If you're looking for a class that deals a ton of AoE damage, has some really good crowd control spells, and is quite mobile, this may be the class for you. Be prepared to use fire magic, which can also oftentimes place the burning effect on enemies, cold magic, which can many times chill enemies, causing them to slow down. They can even be frozen completely.
So it could be Jaina. I can RP as Jaina from WoW.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And also lightning magic, which
she doesn't cast fireball though. She only casts ice. Cool.
I know, which makes me sad, but he's just like, you can freeze enemies. I'm like, oh my god, Jaina. Now,
like Jaina,
unlike in 14, freeze mages exist.
With the right talents can leave behind balls of energy that can be collected to restore mana or deal damage to nearby foes. The sorcerer's unique class mechanic is its ability to utilize an enchantment system, which changes how a skill works. This is said to unlock after you complete a priority quest. Basically, you can place skills into enchantment slots, which make it so that that skill can no longer be activated as its own skill, but it instead becomes a secondary passive bonus. For example, if you place Fireball into an enchantment slot, you don't cast Fireball with that skill anymore, but when you kill an enemy, that enemy will explode in a Fireball for 50% of its damage. Or let's say you decide to place your Ice Armor defensive skill into an enchantment slot. You no longer actively cast Ice Armor on yourself, Instead, upon getting hit, you now have a 5% chance to apply ice armor. So this system offers a unique way to play around with spells to turn some of them into secondary passive benefits. In the beta, we'll likely only have access to one enchantment slot. The Sorcerer's skills include minor destruction spells,
So, like, to comment on that, I think that that would be a cool system, because basically if you're not going to use something, you can kind of, like, utilize this. I see the build potential. I like it. I think that's neat.
Exactly, and it allows you to, like, get some good passives and kind of simplify, your play style. You have you're not.
So I think that's neat.
Get something for it. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Major destruction spells, defensive spells, conjuration spells, mastery spells, and of course, ultimates. These range from frostbolts to fireballs to blizzards to teleportation skills, calling down meteor showers, creating hydras, and much, much more. The Sorcerer's ultimate abilities include a deep freeze spell, making you temporarily invulnerable.
So what I just saw there was anyone that plays Overwatch, this literally is just Mei using her ult in Overwatch and then turning herself into, like, the crystal form waiting for everyone to freeze. Like, that is literally what this is. No one can tell me different.
Yeah, pretty much.
Making you temporarily invulnerable and chilling and freezing enemies around you. An Inferno spell, which creates a burning zone that causes periodic fire damage. And the Conduit spell, which is the ultimate lightning spell that is a more powerful and offensive version of teleport. Necromancers are cunning.
Yeah, so in terms of... What?
Zombies.
Yeah, so Sorcerer, I think it's neat. I think that maybe I've just played too many mages in games that I just kind of look at it and I think, like, this is neat. I think I'd need to learn more about the builds, because, like, I just think I'm less hyped for this.
It just looks like your standard mage, like fireball.
Yeah, it just looks like your standard mage.
Lots of
I mean, the snake thing's cool on screen right now, but...
Yeah, I like playing mage, though. I always like mage.
Yeah, I think that this maybe isn't just for me. I think I've played too many mages where it's just like, I'm a mage and I use a fire and nice.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think that this would definitely be lower on my priority to get leveled up. I think it's cool, but...
Well, it looks interesting.
No, it does.
Of teleport.
So now
Necromancers are cunning summoners that conjure vengeful hordes of the undead. Their essence flows into 3 powerful bastions of bone, blood, or shadow to bring low their enemies. Previous Diablo classes you could look to for ideas on playstyles include, of course, both the Necromancer in Diablo 2 and the Necromancer in Diablo 3. But the D4 Necromancer should bring some new innovative elements to this ever-popular class. Like with most Necromancer classes, you should expect to be summoning the undead alongside being a caster of the dark arts.
Yeah, I love that
Sights,
shit so
swords,
much.
daggers, wands, focuses, and shields. This is a caster-summoner close-quarters combat class. The Necromancer's unique class mechanic is the Book of the Dead, which lets the Necromancer further customize their undead summons, allowing them to specialize these summons in different styles of combat. These customizable undead summons include skeletal warriors, skeletal mages, and golems. A quick example of some of the early customization would be making your skeletal warriors defenders, which gives them more HP at the cost of damage dealt.
Wait, what?
Like, you can customize them?
No, I get what he said, but holy shit. So, like, this Book of the Dead, but, like, what?
Yeah.
So, this literally lets you customize the minions that you summon. What the, like, bro?
Yeah, what is Reaper? Like a healer? It's like a damage tank and probably healer. Different customizations. You probably have, like, there's like 3 customizations there. I wonder if one's like more damage, one's more tank, and one like lets it heal. I don't know.
I don't know, but like it's like you have your warriors, your mages, and your golems, and then like now for the mages you can have like shadow or cold, where it's like chills and freezes enemies. So you'd be more CC build. Like what would bone? So it's okay. So bone is like the actually like sacrificing your own, and I guess that shadow would probably be like baseline. So shadow's probably just like, hey, I want to just have a baseline skeleton. Cold is like, I want to be a CC machine, and then bone is like, let's just go crazy because your overpower damage is increased by 30%, but you can no longer raise skeletal mages.
Yeah, it looks like they give you like a shield. That's what the fortify thing is. Cool.
God, what the hell? And then the golems, you have bone, taunts enemies, so this turns that into like a tank. Drains life.
Yeah.
That's really good. Slams the ground and was that stuns? Yeah, slams the ground and stuns enemies. Dude, this Book of the Dead. Holy shit. Now that's cool. Holy shit. Sorry, I don't know if you're as into it as me. I don't think so, but to me, this is like, holy
Oh,
shit.
it is cool actually. Like this whole like Necromancer class reminds me of the Necromancer class from guild, like the first Guild Wars where you could just make like a minion
Yes.
master and
Yes,
have like
yes.
tons and tons and tons of like the little like what were they even called, like the little bone minions?
I can't
Yeah,
remember, but like
it was
I did play a little bit of Guild Wars 1, and oh my god, I loved it. It was a shame that
like
Guild Wars 2 didn't let you go quite as ham with it, but
you couldn't do it as much in 2.
no. But man, this Book of the Dead shit got me excited like crazy, like. And then what was the other one? You have the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does it tell you what a Reaper actually is? No, it doesn't. No, they didn't hover
So,
over that.
so like look, it looks like you have like go back there.
Sure.
What I was trying to say earlier, it looks like I think that like
Yeah.
they have Skirmisher, which has like a sword. It looks like DPS. He said the Defender thing, makes them do less damage, but makes them more tanky. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Reaper did something to heal. But who
That
knows?
would be cool if it did, because that would give you more of a supportive option. I think that's so cool.
It is. It's exciting. I definitely want to try this class.
No, I love that. But yeah, sorry, we should turn back the thing because people are probably just like keep going.
Necromancer in Diablo 4
I'm
will
hyped.
use Essence as its main resource for many of its skills, and Essence does slowly regenerate on its own, but also using basic skills will grant you more Essence.
That
Corpses
animation.
are also a resource for certain skills, and for fans of previous Diablo games, you'll be happy to know that Corpse Explosion is making a return.
Oh,
The
God.
Necromancer skill categories include Bone skills, Darkness skills, Blood skills, Army skills, Book of the Dead skills, and of course,
That just looks
ultimates.
crazy.
These skills range from Bone Spear skills to Bone Spirit skills, Blight, Blood
Look at that.
Surge, Raise Skeletons, Decompose, Blood Mist, and much, much more. We do not know.
Bro. So I'm gonna go back. Look at this freaking unit just going ham. Like, what the hell? Like, they're just going
Oh.
ham.
Oh, look at them going.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
We do
Looks
not know
cool.
what the ultimate skills are at this point, but we'll
We
find
don't?
out soon enough.
Boo. So I might be making a Necro as my first character. That shit's cool.
I mean, yeah,
That shit's
it
really
is.
cool.
It is. It looks awesome.
Okay, so we're going into the last class, I guess. And so
Barbarian class has unparalleled
Barbarian.
strength and expertly wields an entire arsenal
He's
in
thick.
battle, with a weapon for every occasion. They bellow intimidating war cries and unleash ground-shaking slams to send approaching hordes reeling. The Barbarian is a class that was present in Diablo 2 and 3, and of course it's now made its way into Diablo 4. This is your melee close quarters combat class, and its unique class mechanic is the Arsenal system, which lets you equip 4 weapons simultaneously to fully utilize the Barbarian's skill toolkit, which is based on different weapon requirements. The 4 weapon slots are main hand, offhand, two-handed bludgeoning weapon, and two-handed slashing weapon. Just like with the Druid, with its shapeshifting being activated by certain skills, with the Barbarian, skills will automatically utilize the best or required weapon.
see, I think
Looks
that's
awesome.
cool. The same thing that I'll compliment the Rogue for the versatility is, and the Druid for being able to flow like that. I'm gonna compliment the Barbarian. I think that shit's cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. If there's one theme here, it looks like there's like a lot of, different options for each class. So
Yeah, which is exactly what I want. Like, it's just like thinking about like Path of Exile, thinking about Warframe. It's like the options add so much depth and replayability. It's just like, even with like Boja content in 14, we had so many different options, and that's what really added a lot of replayability in like Delubrium Regane. I think that this is just such a clever way of doing it, and it adds so much customization. Like,
Yeah, no, this looks awesome, but yeah, don't talk about DR.
Expertise is also part of the arsenal system.
No, I'm sorry.
Which grants bonus effects based on your experience with each weapon. For example, one-handed axes grant increased critical strike chance against injured creatures, and two-handed swords can cause a bleed effect.
Cool. Spin twin.
This class is obviously a strength class, and they deal mostly physical damage. The Barbarian skills come in the categories of basic skills, core skills, defensive skills, brawling skills, weapon mastery skills, and of course, ultimates. The skills range from double swings to bashes, frenzy, lunging strike, hammer of the ancients, whirlwind, ground stomp, challenging shout, leap, kick, war cry, and much more.
I love
Barbarian's
that. That sounds
ultimates
so good.
include Call of the Ancients, which calls upon 3 ancients to aid you in battle, Iron Maelstrom, which activates on its first time to attach a chain to your two-handed bludgeoning weapon, which slams the ground, dealing damage and stunning enemies, and you can then reactivate it to then attach that chain to your two-handed slashing weapon, dealing damage and causing an AoE bleed, and reactivate it a final time to attach a chain to your dual-wield weapons, swinging the chain around, dealing damage.
Okay, that's like, what? Like, that description, like, you can tell that he's enjoying that skill too. Like, that sounds absolutely meta. Like, damn, just the way that he was going in there, I'm like, shit.
It looks awesome.
And lastly, Wrath of the Berserker is an
what?
Just spin your weapons on a chain.
And
very metal.
Yeah, you could tell that he was living for that. I think that, yeah, it does sound freaking badass, honestly. Shit.
Ultimate skill that transforms the Barbarian into a searing iron giant, drastically increasing damage and movement speed. And that'll be it for...
Okay, he didn't like that one that much, because that was just instantly done.
Today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know below in the comments what class you're thinking about giving a try.
Druid, Necromancer.
Much more Diablo 4 content.
I actually really like Barbarian.
I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, I don't know what I played. I have to try them all. They're all good. I've tried them all.
Yeah, so I think my number 1 might be the Necro, because that Book of the Dead thing, like, holy shit. Like, as soon as it was like, you can customize your minions to this level, I'm like, damn. I really like the Rogue's Imbue weapon system, and I love the Druid because, like, you just get to be, like, an absolute fucking monster. Like,
yeah,
no,
it all looks great.
Honestly, they do. So I'd say Necro, Druid, Rogue, probably Barbarian, and then Sorcerer. I'm so sorry to my mage mains that they're just like, you betrayed me.
Like, I don't know, I've just never really liked, you know, the Sorcerer, but I actually haven't played that much Diablo, but like they're just too squishy for me, so like, I don't know, it's too easy to get like caught out and just die.
I just think my problem is I'm not hyped.
Bad, though.
Yeah, I think that I'd need to see more about Sorcerer and like what they can do to get hyped, because I'm just like, a fireballs. Okay,
yeah, I just like to play tanky stuff because, you know.
If you're looking for a class that deals a ton of AoE,
I mean, like the Barbarian, like when he was describing that ultimate, I was like, ha, I'm living. And he's obviously living too. It's like, you take this, you spin it around and slashing, and I'm like, damn.
I love that attack he was like spinning. He was like chopping everything up. That was fun.
Yeah, it was like Garen from like League of Legends, and it was just
there was also a move like that in Diablo 3. I think it's called Whirlwind. It was fun.
Oh, so good. Where was it?
Yeah, there was one build you could do where you basically do that. You constantly heal like crazy, so you could just like whirl.
Man, this is what I want from like a warrior. Like, that's so good.
But yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
I freaking love it.
Yeah, I'd probably be between Barbarian and Druid. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was thinking with that, that we're gonna close off this reaction video. And to anyone who's checking this out, I appreciate you. This is a new type of content, and I'm actually really excited for this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm actually really, really excited for this shit. But yeah, do you have any closing statements?
Nah, that's it. Thanks for listening to our silly banter.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us, and thank you for Wolfheartfps for, as always, delivering a freaking amazing video. I love his content so much. Got the bell rung and everything. But yeah, take care, everyone.